Hello everybody and welcome to Lauren Loves Color. This is Lauren. I have 3 new books for you today, and actually these are not the newest books off the press from either of these publishers, but I have been trying to keep up and color and these publishers have just been cranking out the books this month, I will tell you. So let's do a flip and review. I have had an opportunity to color in all 3 of these books, and I want to show you and share with you my experience in coloring in these books. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. This first book here is another release from Shershneva in the Color by Color series. This is the Women's World book. This is a highly anticipated book from a lot of colorists. She's released some little teasers like she normally does of all of her books, and I have to share with you, Kira has been doing something very interesting. What I have seen lately is some of her older books she has released for free as a PDF on her website. And then I believe it's this copy of the book. It might not be this book, but I believe her newest release, which is the Tetris Color by Colors, she actually released the entire book brand new as a free PDF on her website, or else you can order the copy on kind of the premium Amazon paper through Amazon. So if you have been wondering about what it's like to color in one of these books, want to look at the images or get a feel for what's going to be inside of the book, please make sure you go and check her out. Her website is www.kira, K-I-R-A, coloring, COLORING.com. I will try to remember to link that information below. Make sure you show her some love on her website, and you can check out all of the releases that she has there, as well as download any of the free PDFs that she has available. Now, I will tell you, I did try to go online and to see whether or not it would be more cost effective to just purchase the book off of Amazon, or to actually just go to Office Depot and get the book printed on premium paper there. And I will tell you, it's much more cost effective to just go ahead and buy the book on Amazon. Sorry, I'm trying to mess with my light here. Oop, that didn't help. It is much more cost effective to just go ahead and to purchase it off of Amazon. The thing is that with the premium paper and everything like that, this book is $9.99 on Amazon. You're going to pay something close to like $24 or $25 to print it off at Office Depot, and probably not have it look as nice as what it looks like here in the packaging of what you get from Amazon. Now, this book also took a little bit of extra time for me. She sent me a really nice and beautiful copy, and then unfortunately, when it came to me, it had arrived damaged. This book had literally been bent on the bottom right-hand corner of the book, and the pages had been frayed. So I ordered a copy myself, got it replaced, and very happy with this version. I did not want to show you guys a damaged copy of this book. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. Again, this by Shershneva. This is what the back of the book looks like. It is her standard color palette that's listed here on the back, and she has a nice sample image here of what it looks like uncolored and colored. There are 20 images in this book, and it is just a dream. I love this series and love these books. When you open the front cover here, she has a little bit of a different setup for her swatches here. She has all of her colors listed here and gives you a variety of different colors that you can use to swatch to kind of get a nice match. Now, this paper is that premium Amazon paper. It's very glossy. It's very smooth. This is really wonderful for alcohol markers, not so great for things like colored pencils. So just keep that in mind. She's also made a couple of improvements to this book. Of course, I should be prepared and show you. Let's see. She's made a couple of additional changes. This is one of her other most recent releases. This is the spring book. You will see typically on the inside here, she usually has like a picture, and you would swatch her colors on the picture, but of course she actually has kind of just a more traditional swatch page here for you. And then on the very first inside page, you will see that she has actually changed the color palette. So On her new release, she actually has the color palette very close to the page itself, whereas in her older book, she has it on the left-hand side. She did this to make it easier to kind of compare the colors to the image itself. All of the images, they don't have a number. It's just the outline. You match the outline color in each area with the color that is associated over here. So I actually like that change. I do think it makes it a little bit easier to see the colors, which color you would be using in the image. I will tell you, I think with these color by color series, and I say this about all of them, I think the first time that I worked in these books, I had a little bit of a trouble discerning between some of the colors, but I have colored in so many of these books now, at least a few images, that I'm like a pro. I know instantly without even having to look at the sheet on the left-hand side which colors go in which area. So this book is themed with a bunch of different ladies from kind of different eras and from different countries. Each one has this kind of beautiful colored background as well. And these images are just stunning. As an illustrator, Kira, I think, does some of the best character images and just some of the best images in general that I've ever colored. So I'm a huge, huge fan of her work. And so I really don't have anything negative to say about this book. If she wanted to kind of, I guess, elevate this book a little bit more, the only other suggestion I would have is it would be nice to know like what origin some of these ladies came from. Like obviously this is a Native American. There was one we saw that was kind of from Asian descent. This one obviously is from like the Switzerland area, but there are some in here that I'm just not 100% certain of. So it might be nice to kind of know that kind of what country of origin she was coloring from. Like I'm not sure here like what the country of origin is for her. And maybe you know, and you can comment down below and help me understand, but the images in here really, really are beautiful. I love how she actually did the eyes. The eyes are kind of these multicolor eyes here, and they're stunning. But yeah, I really, really, really love this book. I think she did a phenomenal job in here, and she's consistently being so creative. And this is the girl that I did, and I think she just turned out so cute. When I saw the llama, instantly I knew I had to do it, and this one just looked really bright and colorful to me. I love the different colors that are in her pigtails here. I thought the colors in her dress were stunning. This I did in my Copic sketch markers, which are a brush marker, which I think are honestly what work best on this paper. So I think this turned out really, really beautiful. And I'm looking forward to doing more in here. This was pretty easy. It took me less than an hour to do. Like I said, I'm pretty much a pro at these books by now because I've had an opportunity to practice in her other books, so these all go really quickly. And like I said, for something that's less than an hour, I think they just turn out just absolutely stunning. This also gives you an opportunity to see what it looks like on the opposite page after you're done coloring, so that you can still see through to the other side and clearly see the colors that are listed here. It might be a little bit harder to read on the screen than what it actually is in real life. And like I said, I've colored enough of these that I really don't have a problem being able to see what colors I need in each picture. If this really bothers you, if you feel like this is too distracting from being able to see the color palette you need for the next page, you can always work in the book from back to front. So yeah, like again, I'm not quite sure what country or area of the world this is from, but it's really beautiful. So I think this is a really, really great concept. I would love to see her come out with some more books like this with some of these characters, like maybe things like fairy tales, or do fairies, or even men or famous couples around the world. I could totally see her stemming off and doing a lot of creative things. The next book in the Color by Color series is called Color by Colors Tetris. I will be getting a copy of that book, and you will see me do a flip and review of that. And that's a little bit of a twist. That's kind of a bit of a going a little bit off. I shouldn't say off-brand, but going a little bit kind of off from what this is. It's much smaller shapes that make up the picture, so it's a little bit more mystery. So I will definitely be previewing that for you guys and showing that once I receive a copy of the book. let's go on to one of my favorite publishers as well, which is Questopia. This is 2 of their newest releases. They've also come out with another new release, which is a book that's totally themed around mom, which is so sweet and just in time for Mother's Day. But these are the copies of the 2 books that I got. And also, as a disclaimer, Kira sent me the Women's World book. Questopia so kindly sent me these books for review as well. So I'd like to just thank them and provide that disclaimer there. Let's take a look at the Mandala book. This is one of their books that I really was anticipating and have been waiting for them to release. They had kind of hinted this book to me, and I was instantly intrigued and excited when they did. They actually put off the release of this book because of the changes they made to their color palette. Again, just as a reminder, they have condensed their 50 color palette to a 25 color palette. It's 24 colors listed here, and anything with an asterisk is any flesh tone that you desire. And so they redid this book actually with a new color palette so you could utilize the new colors, which is really, really nice. This book, what's also unique about this book from Questopia is usually they have 20 images in each of the books that they have. This one is 35. So for the same price of their regular books, they actually release this with 35 images, which is really, really great. So here is where we start. Again, they have just the colors you need listed on the left-hand side, which I absolutely love. And they have a standardized number system for all of their color palettes. So 8 is always red, 14 is always light green, etc., etc., etc. And so we'll start flipping through this book. What I will say is I absolutely love the black background. When any of the Mandala books that have the black background, it really, really makes the colors pop. I have only had an opportunity to do 1 image in here. They're very, very quick and easy because they are mandalas, and they look like they have some pretty tight spacing in here, and they do, but your regular alcohol markers are going to do just fine because there's black areas around each of the small sections. I used my Copic sketch markers in here and had absolutely no problem. Brush markers have a tendency to be able to get in some of these small nooks and crannies much easier. But like I said, even with regular alcohol markers, you're going to do just fine because of the areas there. The mandalas take up a pretty nice amount of the page. There's even some like this that have kind of patterns around the page. So I'm really, really impressed with this book. I think it's very well thought out. I think it's very well executed. I love the variety of different shapes in here. I also kind of look to see what are the range of colors that they use. And while they do use the majority of their palette in each of these pages, they do have quite a bit of variation as well. So as I color through this book, I'll be able to tell a little bit more about how varied some of the colors are. But I think with the large variety of patterns, I think each page is to look a little bit different. I've also been looking out for some of my friends on Instagram who've colored out of here, and they've really produced some beautiful images in this book. So I'm super, super excited to continue coloring in here. Sorry guys, still, again, getting over this bad virus and just can't kick it. But yeah, I think this is so well done. I really hope that Questopia does another book like this. Maybe one that is like a volume 2 or different shapes of mandalas and things like that. I think that would be really nice. I think all of us are kind of tired of the Jade Summer mandala book that's consistently like greens, oranges, and reds. And so this book and Shershneva just came out with a really, really nice mandala book. So I'm really happy to see the, and Shershneva came out with a mandala book in her Color by Color series. And all of those are so, so, so well done, including this book. I think it's going to put some of those other books, or the Jade Summer books, to shame. This is the mandala that I colored, and guys, it's beautiful, isn't it? I think just really, really wise use of colors throughout this book. I think it really, really looks phenomenal. I'm very, very happy with how this turned out, and just really, really love it. So kudos to Questopia, because I just feel like, and I just picked a random mandala. I didn't want to do, sometimes when you get these flip throughs, you're always used to just seeing the first page colored. So I try to pick something random in the book. So lots of different shapes. And then you can see there's even some, especially as you get towards the back of the book, that use a more like condensed palette. So some of these only use a few colors, which is kind of nice. So maybe if you want to do something a little bit more simple and something not so complex, come towards the back of the book. And then as usual, they have a whole bunch of bonus pages from some of their other books. I have those two books, the large print color by number, Flowers and Gardens. I also have You Are Loved. All of those are really good books. Same thing with Sugar Skulls. Oh, and Chibi Girls too. That's also a really fantastic book. This one, they just came out in the black outline version. I think this is their most popular book. They have their custom color chart here now. 2 different versions of it if you want to keep track of what markers you're using, a color testing sheet, and then just information to leave them a review, some blank pages, again, to just test colors or mediums on, and that is it. So that is their Mandala color by number book with the black background. Again, if you're not familiar with Color Questopia, they also always issue their books in the black background version, but they also have a white background version. So if you like to fill in the lines or you just like the look of the white background, all of their books are available in white backgrounds. I just prefer the black background, so that's the version that I'd get. All right. Last but certainly not least, this is one of their newest releases as well. This is Inspirational Quotes, large print adult color by number, Dream Big, Shine Bright. So the theme of this book, again, the back looks the same. The theme of this book really is inspirational quotes. So each page that we look at is going to have some sort of an inspirational quote associated with each image. If you saw the You Are Loved book, it's a little bit of a similar concept. What I like about this one is that it has a nice variety of different types of images. So again, kind of like the large print color by number book, which is the first one that I finished. It's one of those that you can kind of pick up and have a bit of a variety of different images to color. I also like that they've changed up some of the fonts of some of the quotes that they use. Some of them they've made more color by number. And also on a lot of these pages, which I like as well, there's not a required background for the image for the page. So it leaves it a little bit more up to you to determine if you want to put a background in the image or not. I don't know why, but I always feel obligated that if there's a number in the background, I always feel obligated to color it. And sometimes on big, large areas like this, especially if you're using alcohol markers, it can be really, really hard to get a nice looking background. So again, another really nice image here. You have your color palette listed on the left-hand side with your standardized colors. And some of these have numbers inside of the quotes and some of them don't, so you can use whatever you like. To me, that kind of calls for glitter gel pen or using some sort of a fun medium for that. A variety of different quotes. A lot of these are kind of these swirly, spirally. They're not like Zendoodle, but they're just kind of these nice large floral patterns, which are really nice. And I find these extremely relaxing to color, and they're usually, based upon what I've seen from Color Questopia, they're usually really colorful. This one is the cover image, which is really beautiful. This one does have the inside and outside background, a suggested color, which is a dark blue. And what I usually like to do is, instead of using alcohol marker, is that I will probably use either palette pastels or I will use crayon just to color that in, just because it's such a large space. I thought this image was really nice with the waves and the ocean. Again, some more flowers. Just really nice. These are just really, really fun and relaxing. And I've actually seen someone color this, and it's really, really beautiful. This has a lot of really nice colors in it. And this is the one that I colored. So I did this owl picture. As soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to color it. And what I love about these large print books is just how beautiful and bright some of these colors are, which are somewhat unexpected. Now, I did kind of zhuzh this up a little bit. I added my own little personal touch, but it didn't take me very long. I colored everything in here exactly to how Color Questopia wanted it. They did not have a color for the quote at the top. So what I used was my Divical Dual Metallic Gel Pen. It's kind of like between a teal and a blue color, and I use that to color in the words up here, and I love that effect. And then I used some of my Stickles glitter glue, and I went over each of the stars that are up here. And then I also used some, you can probably see a little bit in the eyes of the owl, which I thought was a really just nice, beautiful added touch of sparkle. And then I used my Jane Davenport palette pastels. And while it didn't call for a background, when I saw the stars that were in the sky on this, I thought that was a perfect opportunity to just use something to create something that was going to give a tone of a sky. And I think it turned out really, really well. So I'm really, really happy with it. I think it looks really, really nice. And again, gosh, I love the colors that they included in the owl. I think that's just stunning. And with the flowers and the tree branches, I did add a couple of little details too with my white gel pen. Didn't really go overboard on it, just kept it really nice and simple. And I really love it. I think it looks wonderful. This is kind of a nice horizon picture too. And this was unique and fun, this little paper airplane. Some landscape. This is just one of those kind of pick up your markers and go idea, and just to keep it real simple and easy and just kind of nice and fun to color. So I really like this book. I think this is really nice. And obviously it pulls kind of from different artists throughout different books, because this to me looks definitely like the artist that did Flowers and Gardens. This is kind of cool dragon picture. What does it say? Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can't be beaten. That's kind of cool. I thought this one was really pretty too, of kind of this girl dancing. And then again, just some images, some bonus images in the back. Flowers and Gardens. They have sugar skulls again. This is actually the very first image I colored from there. They have their large print color by number. You Are Loved. This is their national parks. This is one of their more kind of intricate color by number books. And then their custom color chart here. You can match all of your colors, color testing sheets, some extra pages, and that is the end of the book. So here are all the books again that we went through today. Again, I will have links in the description box below for all three of these. Thank you to Shershneva and Color Questopia for sending me copies of these lovely books. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we will talk again soon. Bye.